everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my October wrap-up part 2. I was hoping to film this last weekend, but then I got a sinus infection, like so bad to the point where like I had absolutely zero voice. So there was a good week where I was just like miserable because I wasn't sure if it was a cold or COVID. Like I kept testing, it kept coming up negative, so I kept like obviously like teaching through it, and finally I was like enough is enough, and I like visited like the virtual doctor, and they're like, you have a sinus infection. I was like, great. Started taking meds, my voice came back, and it's been getting better. So sorry for no videos last week. You wouldn't want to have listened to me because my voice just was like shot. But yeah, end of October. Whew, we started off strong in the beginning of October, and then all of a sudden I just couldn't read anything that sustained my attention to save my life. Like, I think out of the ones that I'm going to show you, I liked 2 of them. So it got weird. So let's just dive in. So I DNF'd a ton. I DNF'd Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. I just didn't care. It wasn't working for me. I don't know what it was. I tried reading it on Kindle through Kindle Unlimited, and I really liked the wolf's perspective because I really liked that, like, he had his inner voice. So, like, this is about a wolf who, like a man who, like, transitions into a werewolf, but unfortunately he has, like, this curse on him of some kind, and he isn't able to transform into his werewolf self. So, like, he is, like, stuck with this, like, alpha, like, speaking to him all the time, and so he's trying to reach out to this witch, and this witch is supposed to, like, help potentially break his curse, so that way he'd be able to transform, but the whole time we're listening to... I really liked the wolf's perspective, because, like I said, I really liked having, like, his inner monologue talk, except for the fact that it was just, like, so sexual right off the bat, and I understand, like, it was supposed to be, like, a romance, but, like, it just, like... I don't know. I wanted to have more fun with it than I was having. I probably might hold on to this and give it another go, or I know it's on Kindle Unlimited if I want to try it again, but I couldn't get into it, so I put that one down. I picked up Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy, and I feel really bad about this one because I just got this one from Target. And I started reading it, like, right away, and I got, like, 60 pages in, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, again, another perspective of, like, a woman that I just, like, could not be in her head for. She was really, like, it just wasn't a great writing style, and I feel bad because, like I said, I got it in the mail, and I immediately was reading it, and I immediately realized this is not for me, and I tried to return it, and they were like, keep it, and I was like, I don't want it, though. So that kind of, like, I feel like a jerk, but it is what it is. This is about a woman named Mary, and it's kind of like a possession story, but, like, again, she was just not somebody I wanted to be in the head of. The writing style just was not clicking for me, so I DNF'd that one. Violetta by Isabel Allende. I was reading this one also on my Kindle. I think I almost got to part 2. I think so. I think I was at least 70 pages in. It just, again, wasn't doing anything for me. I just felt like this was just dry, and just, like, that slice of life of just, like, I'm just following this one character. Like, I've been really craving, like, a plot-driven story, and reading these, like, slice of life stories just are not doing it for me, and I hate it, but, like, I didn't care. I didn't care. I was bored. I felt like nothing was happening, and nothing was keeping my attention. I didn't even find the people to be, like, likable in any way. Like, I wasn't, like, drawn to the characters, so, like, I didn't do it. Olga Dies Dreaming, same issue. I just did not care. I got 106 pages in, and I just didn't care. Like, it's about a woman who's a wedding planner, and she's sleeping with, like, one of her clients' dads in secret, and, like, her brother is, like, running for some Senate thing, and I think he's, like, secretly gay, but, like, people don't know it, and just, like, nothing was happening. Nothing was happening, and I just did not care. Did not care. This one I feel bad about, too. This is the Cider Mill Coven by Vanessa Abigail Lambert. This is somebody from Connecticut. I bought it with that in mind, because I got it at a local cider mill. I was reading it on Kindle Unlimited. It's also on Kindle Unlimited. And this author just writes with a ton of flowery details that just are not necessary. Like, this book is, like, not that long. It's only, like, 300 pages, but, like, it just felt like it was, like, well, this one, ready? The heavy wooden front door swung open effortlessly, without so much as a single touch. A tiny slice of the crescent moonlight shone into the front entryway. Lydia stood in the doorframe, exhausted, sticky. Unfastened tendrils of silver hair clung to the side of her temples. A loose bun wobbled behind her head as she moved. I don't care about her bun. Like, but, like, it was just, like, constantly like that. Like, her slender fingers touched her parted red lips. He glanced at a clock above the bookcases, overflowing with thick collegiate works of literature. Like, just too much. Too much. It was just, like, especially, like, my time to read physically is, like, nighttime. So when it gets flowery and it gets way too much detail, like, I start to fall asleep. And I don't, so that did not go so well. I did finish Halloween Party. I was talking to you about that one. I was listening to this one on audio, and it was okay. I just feel like it was a product of its time. I gave it 3 stars. It's about these people who are all at a party. They're, like, throwing a party for kids, and one of the kids ends up, like, dying in a, like, bobbing for apples game, and Hercule Poirot tries to solve the mystery. There's a lot of, like, conversation in here that just, like, is 100% dated and just, like, inappropriate, in terms of, like, sexualizing, like, children and just, like, well, what was she wearing? And, like, that type of conversation, which I just could do without, but it was okay. I'll be interested to see how they, like, adapt this, because this is the next movie that they're doing, but I think it's inspired by this, but isn't exactly this. So I'll be intrigued to see how that goes when that comes out. I listened to Witch Please by Anna Guire. I didn't really love this one either. I gave this one 3 stars. I probably could have DNF'd it. I, like, feel bad because it's some Julie from Pages and Puppers and Pages. I always say it wrong. I was just talking to her this morning. You would think that I would remember her handle. Over on Instagram, she sent this to me. Jules from Pages and Puppers. I was right the first time. So she sent this to me last year because she was trying to clean it off her shelves, and I was like, oh, that looked really cute. I wanted to read it this season, but I didn't get to it, so she sent it to me. So this is about a witch who owns a, like, fix-it type of company. Like, her and her cousin, like, go and, like, fix appliances, aka use their magic on appliances and get paid for it. Because people don't know that they're witches. And then this guy who owns, like, a bakery, and he's a human. So she's not allowed to be in love with him, but of course they have interactions, and of course they fall in love. The first half of this book felt really strong. Like, I really liked the plot. Like, there was, like, an actual, like, plot feelingness to the book. The second they started hooking up, forget it. It, like, turned into, like, sex on every page, which is, like, fine. Like, fine, I guess, if that's what you're looking for, but, like, I find when it's, like, supposed to be, like, a paranormal thing, like, I'm more invested in a plot of a paranormal than the sexy times. And, like, because they had this, like, I want to be with you, but, like, I can't be with you. And then, like, in the second half, it just, like, the plot got really, like, all over the place. Like, the plot kind of, like, went out the window. Like, the original, like, where the story was going kind of went out the window. And all of a sudden, it was just, like, everywhere and all over the place. And then it got to be, like, long feeling. Like, this book is 350 pages, and it just felt long. And I don't know. I lost interest in it by the end, and I ended up giving this one 3 stars. I'm going to say 3. I will not be continuing on with the series. I did pick up Look Closer by David Ellis. I just bought this book for my birthday this month. This book takes place around Halloween, so if you're looking for a book for next year that you want that, like, takes place at Halloween time, like, this is the perfect book for you. We walk into the book, we don't walk into a book, but when we join the characters in the book, we find this woman who is dead. She's, like, whoever killed her, like, hung her. She's in her Halloween costume. And he's in his Halloween costume as the Grim Reaper, and we're watching him, like, walk away from the scene of the crime. And we are alternating perspectives between time and characters, trying to figure out who killed this woman and why is she up there and what was going on. I really liked this one. I gave it 4 stars. My only concern was it was a bit long. I felt like some of the details could have been chopped down a bit to make this shorter. It had twists, it had turns that I didn't see coming, so I thought that was extremely well done. Just wish it was a tad bit shorter. I listened to Magic Lies and Deadly Pies by Misha Pop. It's so funny because I started listening to this one this summer when I was on a plane going to Disney with my family, but then, like, the way the audio was coming in through my headphones and stuff with the kids, it wasn't working, so I, like, stopped. I was like, well, maybe, like, the audiobook isn't for me. Maybe I need to buy it physically. So I bought it physically, and then I still ended up listening to it on audio. But I really like the audio. I really like the narrator. We are following a woman who bakes pies for a living, but she also has this, like, undercover pie business where she is essentially, if she's contacted by a woman who's basically being, like, domestically abused, like, she could order a special pie, and then she, like, bakes this pie and infuses it with her magic, and it tends to kill those people who eat the pie. So we're following her. She's kind of run away from her past. She ends up meeting this guy that is, like, trying to reopen this orchard nearby, so they have, like, kind of a new friendship, and she finally gets this, like, message that's essentially, like, I know what you're doing, and I know what your pie business is. You go give these pies to these 3 women, or I'll out you, and I'll tell the world who you are. And so she's got to figure out, like, who this is, who's trying to set her up, who's trying to get it out of her, and it was sweet and just easy and simple with plot and characters, and it was just, like, everything that I was missing from all the other books that I was reading. So I'm excited to continue on with the series. Love books that have baking in it, so, you know, this was right up my alley. So I gave this one 4 stars. I listened to Little Deadly Secrets by Pamela Crane. I've had this one on my shelf for a long time, and I didn't like this. This is following 3 women. They were friends in college, and they're still friends now. They all obviously have their secrets. We know that somebody's going to wind up dead based off of the beginning of the book, but now we have to figure out who's dead, why they're dead, all the jazz. Nobody was likable. I didn't like a single person, and it wasn't even like they're just so despicable. Like, I didn't like them. I didn't care about them. I didn't care who was dead. And, like, even, like, finally when we find out, like, who the mystery is and, like, who's dead, like, it was kind of like, that's it? Like, just, ugh. So, no. I think I gave it 3 stars, but it's forgettable, and I wouldn't recommend it. Editing me here. Just realized I totally forgot a book. I also forgot that I read Big Little Secrets by A.B. Llewellyn. I read this one on Kindle Unlimited, and this one was one that I was really excited for because I had read a book by her back in January that I really loved. And so, like, I had been kind of saving it for a minute where I was going to need a book that was going to grip me, and I thought this was going to be it. It was not it. But this is about a man who is married to a woman. She is originally from Hungary. They are having a kind of weird point in their marriage where, like, he kind of up and moved them to Las Vegas for this, like, kind of cringy of a job, him and his son and his wife. And she ends up going to Hungary for a reunion kind of on the spur of the moment, but we also can tell that she's been running from something in her past, And when she goes, like, he loses contact with her, and he, like, can't figure out where she's gone, so now he's got to figure out where she's gone. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. Like, it was 100% readable, but it just, I could find this one being kind of forgettable. It wasn't as gripping as I wanted it to be. I did find it interesting going to another country and trying to figure out what was going on, but ultimately I just kind of found it to not be as good as it could have been. The twist could have been more interesting. I didn't find what they were, like, running away from to be really, like, all that bad. So, like, it was weird that, like, the characters were acting like this was, like, this big horrible thing, and I was like, it could have been solved very easily. So, unfortunately, I give this one 3 stars, but hey, I've been trying to read on Kindle Unlimited again, so that's a win. So, back to your regular scheduled programming. Book that I don't even know. Sydney must have touched this because I'm not that far into this book. I don't even know what page I'm on now. I think I don't know where I am. I feel like I must be, I think I'm right here, and I'm not very far. I'm reading The Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. I put it down because I don't even know. I'm, like, on this, like, hunt for, like, a book that I can't put down. And I was able to put this down. The book that I'm also currently reading right now I was able to put down. Like, I'm having a really struggle right now with, like, picking something up that is just captivating me and holding me. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this one in November. I'm hoping November is going to be off to a better start. I've already finished 2 books. One was a 3-star read. One was a 5-star read. So hopefully I'm on the up and up for the rest of November, but I don't know what happened in October, but we cannot repeat that. I was excited because my quantity number went back up, but my quality just tanked by the end of the month. So we'll see what happens. Have you read any of these books? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye, everybody.